Yo!
Dates.
Let me do my let
Actually,
me do my best.
Kirk, do you want to do a version of Wes first?
Yeah. Go, Kirk.
No, man, that was purely just off the cuff. It was like,
What's up,
we are
everyone? It's the
here, episode 99 of 587 NBA Finals. Are you ready? How's that?
Well done. Well done. That's a great intro. Can we try that again? Can
He
we
was
try?
not impressed with that at all.
We
He was like,
still at the Eastern Conference and Western Conference final. Kirk, don't go ahead of yourself.
It's that sort of math that is you losing Bira.
It's time to shoot some hoops. Get ready for the thrill. NBA SA is on. Let's see who got the skill. From dunks to three-pointers, we got it all for you. Tune in and join the action. There's nothing else to do. NBA SA, yeah. NBA SA, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
We go live in 3, 2. What's up, everyone?
it's like Wesley's question.
Hey, what did he say?
My intros are like Wesley's questions.
That just don't matter.
These two guys. What's up, everyone? It's the NBA SA show. Tim is here, Kirk is here. My name's Wesley. And we are three friends from South Africa that love basketball and love the NBA. And this time of the year, nothing gets us more excited than the conference finals. It's the two best teams in the East and the two best teams in the West who fight it out, and one will prevail in the East and one will prevail in the West to play in the NBA finals. And we're there now. We are at the conference finals. One
Can I
team is
just
named
say-
in the East. Yeah, one team, the Pacers, have qualified already for the Eastern Finals, and the Minnesota Timberwolves have already qualified for the Western Conference Finals. Gentlemen, there are 4 teams left that are still in the second round of the playoffs. So we're not going to talk about the teams that have already gone through, because I think we're going to talk a lot about them in the next episode. So let's focus on the 2 games that is still about to come. First up, tonight's game is not the Knicks, eh?
Knicks.
No. Yeah. It's the Knicks
Knicks and
versus
your
Boston.
rep.
Yeah. So I'm wearing my Jason
The
Tatum.
last time you get to wear that top.
I know. Maybe. But let me hear your thoughts first, and then I'll let you know what I think is going to happen. Timmy, over to you, bro. Are the Knicks finishing the series tonight?
Yes, they are. But even if they aren't, then they're just finishing it in Boston, which I think might be even more hard. So that would turn Boston into the Proteas. Yeah, well, you think they did, and then they're not, and they give you just enough hope, but then they die anyway. Right? It's just like I got lots of Celtics fans in my life. I don't pretend to care about their feelings. They they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They've had a wonderful run. I kind of feel sorry for them. Love Tatum. I feel terrible for that dude. And so I love your top. Shame. It's over for them. It's over.
Interesting, Tim. I feel a little different. I think that Boston have the talent that even if their main number 1 player is out, I think they've got 5 other guys who are strong enough to actually come back and beat the Knicks. I know it sounds crazy, and the Knicks have momentum. The Knicks are going to play at home in Game 6. But that heart of a champion thing is a real thing. It's a real thing. And I think if they can find a way to win Game 6, I think they win Game 7. That's my prediction. But it's tough, though. Tough. That New York fan base is
Wild.
different. Yeah.
Wild.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think Game 6 is going to be a rough one. But I got this funny feeling Jalen steps up. I think this is a Jalen moment. This is the type of moment where you go, if you're going to get your big salary, prove it. Now's your time to prove it. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, look, I agree with you to an extent that they're champions and they'll remain champions until they're beaten. and they've got a super talented squad. But often squads and teams make sense because of who the primary players are, the gravity that they then pull from the defense, and that allows everybody to be the best version of themselves. And that's Tatum. Tatum created the gravity. He created the space for everybody just by being himself, not even having to be heliocentric or ball dominant on that. Curry does the same thing by running off a variety of different picks and what have you. But I just don't see that in the Celtics. One, without Tatum. Two, Jaylen Brown of this year is not the same as Jaylen Brown of last year, previous year's finals MVP. He's been a different player for the whole year. And his primary motivation is to score and not to create or play make. And so then who's the playmaker in that team? They're a team that lives off of collapsing a defense, chucking it out, and everybody shooting threes. Cool. Who's creating that scenario? One, to collapse the defense and create the open space. And if it's Jaylen doesn't have a great track record of passing the ball out to then share it with everybody else. And so he hasn't been the same. He's not that player that he doesn't create the same sort of engine that Tatum does. And KP's been, Luke Cornett has been more important than KP.
Yeah.
Right? Now, unless we suddenly think we're going to see a different KP, like there's been nothing this year that gives us that indication. And could they win Game 6? Absolutely. The Knicks are a flawed team. Right? Could they win Game 7? Yeah. Unlikely, but maybe they do. And then even if they win those two games, for what? They're gonna run up against a Pacers team that are scared of nobody.
Yeah.
Right? That create for each other. Right? They literally are the pack of wolves in the East. And even if they get through them, they're going to get a literal pack of wolves, right? Or the Nuggets, like Proteas. Celtics are the Proteas. They will give you just enough hope and they will let you down. Right? And shame, it's not even their fault. Tatum got injured. Had Tatum not been injured, I would have still have held out hope that they go all the way.
Kirk, do you agree, bruh? He thinks the Knicks are doing it. What do you think?
Actually, I initially thought that there's hope for Boston, but they need to win. They need to win 2 on the trot, right? They've just won 1, so that means they would need to win 3 on the trot, and that's a tall ask
without their best player.
Yeah. So, I'm always a draad sitter. So, if they win Game 6, they are going to play Game 7 at home, right? And the defending champs at home in a Game 7 against a team that has gotten to the conference finals. Well, they're not in the conference, they're still in the second round. That have gone, that are playing. This is probably the biggest game that most of those Knicks have played, right? Besides Cat and
OG.
You want Cat in that game because what is he gonna do?
OG is an actual champion.
Okay, he's a defender. He's a champion. Yeah?
And
who did OG win with?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd go those Villanova boys, right? Technically, yes, this is their this is their biggest NBA game. Right? But those guys, did they win the NCAA twice? Like they are. I'm not convinced that they are affected by big games.
You know who else has won at every level? Christian Braun. Do you expect you're gonna put your hopes on somebody that has won at high school, that has won everything at high school, that has won everything in college, and they come to the NBA conference or a Game 7 in the NBA? You're gonna pin your hopes on somebody like that? Probably not. Would you put Bira on it?
No, but we're talking about Christian.
Exactly.
We're talking about Christian Braun, right? Which is very different from Brunson is used to shouldering everything. Like I'm not convinced that the moment is going to swallow him.
Not Brown.
No, exactly. Yeah. But Brown plays for Denver, and we're not even talking the scenario. But we are literally talking about Brunson in this moment.
Yes, but
Right?
my point is like saying that success at that level breeds success at this level, I'm not so sure does. I mean, it's
Fair.
not the same. It's not the
No,
same. Yeah.
it isn't the same, but I completely agree with that, right? But it is an indicator as to whether somebody is used to stepping up in big moments or not, right?
Bro, we all know Brunson shines brighter than most of the lights we've seen so far.
Yeah, no, that's the point. And he will literally have the ball in his hand, right?
Mm.
And at this point in time, if you say, do I trust Jaylen Brown or Jalen Brunson?
But again, like one guy can do it, one guy can believe, maybe two guys can believe. You need all 8, 9, 10 guys to believe to pull it off. Ask LA.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Do you think
Like that-
just to add
but
to
okay. I mean, let's go. Let's do this then. Let's do that math, right? Looking at the person, because now we're doing a little body test, eyeball test, right? I think Pritchard believes. I
Okay,
think
so stop
Brown
right there because
believes.
last year we had this very same conversation and we call them the little leprechauns and
The
all
Munchkins.
this,
Fair.
and they
But I
came
think
and they wiped the floor with your Mavericks.
true. But look, I think Pritchard believes. I said yes. I think Pritchard believes.
All those guys, I believe all those guys believe.
yeah, and that
Down to the bra that puts the popcorn in the pakkies
The
in
seven
the
ounce. Man, they ran out some guys I've never seen before. We got 2-3 minutes each. I'm gonna read you some names. I'm like, those motherfuckers, they don't believe.
yeah. Yeah.
And if they do, we don't care. Because we don't know who they
I believe that they believe, but they shouldn't believe.
are. Wesley, take
Because the
control
Knicks
here.
also believe.
Take control here, please.
So what's your
I'm
call,
just saying
Stan?
that I'm not entirely writing off the Boston Celtics
I would like to
because
name
of
a few names.
the style of play and
Yeah.
because of who they still have. I believe that they could still get it over the line.
Jay Davison, Jay Walsh, N. Quetta, B. Shireman, and T. Craig. All players that played minutes in the last game for the Celtics. Who
And they
are
won.
Yeah, but
They
they
won,
were
right?
really up 20 at that stage. And these are legitimately the guys that come in after Hauser. So you on the bench, you have Pritchard, Cornette, Hauser, and then those cats that I just mentioned.
Mm.
I'm still
Not that I
gonna
think that
say
you're going any further than 8.
last year I'm not gonna say we or anybody else. I'm gonna own this. I pulled my nose up at Pritchard. I pulled my nose up at all of them. I don't even remember their names anymore.
Hauser,
But
Pritchard,
Rudy,
Cornette. Those are them.
Hauser, Pritchard, and Cornette. Yes. I pulled my nose up at them and I was like, these little guys are not gonna stand a cooking hope against Mavericks, the Mavericks guys, and they did. They stepped up. They made big shots. They made plays. They kept the score ticking over while the starters were getting a rest. All those good things, and doing that and winning a championship and running it back, I think that is hard to beat.
Very true. I agree with all of that, and I felt that personally. Sorry, the one point that is fundamentally different, and sorry, I was having this conversation with Wiz just as you had to step away. Often in an offense or in a team, right, all of those role players can be the best version of themselves because of the gravity that the star player creates. Yeah, so he sucks in everything and it allows him the space, and the star player generally puts them into space or allows them to have the space, whether it's Curry running around the screen or Luka pulling it and throwing you the ball. Like something has to happen. The entire Boston offense works on the premise that Tatum unlocks almost everything. Yeah, he's the creator. He's the one that starts the ball movement. He's the one that sucks, that collapses the defense. Brown scores, but one, he scores for himself. He's not the playmaker. And two, often he scores off a secondary movement, off something that Tatum has created, right? when you remove Tatum and his presence off the court, you do two things. One, the defense all of a sudden, the primary thing that the defense was trying to stop and collapse on, doesn't have to worry about it. Now they have to worry about only Brown, right? And his inability or lack of enthusiasm to be the playmaker and to pass the ball. Right?
Why do you why do you think they won game 5, Tim?
I think they won game 5 because they shot really well. And actually, to be honest, I think they won game 5 less because of the Celtics and more because of the strange things that the Knicks are prone to do occasionally. Like the Knicks were random. The OG and Bridges had shitty games. Neither of them played, right, particularly well. It was the most bizarre scenario. They get into foul trouble at different stages. They were just it was random. They turned the ball over when they shouldn't have, right? And the Knicks are prone to doing this. They've been prone to doing this the entire year. And then they'll have a game in which they're absolutely sublime. Also, Brunson became super heliocentric at the end, which potentially he didn't necessarily need to do at that stage. And I think that the last game, again, had less to do with the Celtics. Look, they still had to win the game, and it had more to do with how badly the Knicks played, right? And that moment and seizing that moment. They also knew that they had three bites at the cherry. Right? Like it's just
This is human nature to just come out.
just a little bit flat. Just
Yeah.
Thinking the other team's gonna roll over.
So in what did they play now? Game 5, right? So in game 4, Boston scored off 15 assisted buckets. In game 3, Boston scored off 20 assisted buckets. In game 5, Boston scored off 27 assisted buckets, which means they are sharing the ball a lot better. They are moving the ball a lot better. And that feeds into Boston's style of play. Swing the ball, find an open man, bah. Right? And I think they shot 65% from 3-point.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Any team that shoots 65%.
Finding an open man.
Not gonna happen again. Like, look,
okay.
we're gonna talk in circles here. I think that that there's clickbait in here. If you really believe that the Celtics are gonna win the season, Peter. Fuck.
Okay, let's make it interesting.
Let's put a whole tray in this shit.
Check here. Let's go beat it just on game 6.
No, because it doesn't matter whether it's 6 or 7. Boston are not getting through the series.
You can give me a 6. You can bring me pickup sticks. You can.
Okay. Final answer.
A tray that the Knicks are gonna proceed to the conference finals.
Kirk.
A tray, Young.
Kirk, make a call. Who you got?
Boston, but not in it. I won't bet a tray on it. I'll bet a 6-pack on it. I'll bet a 6-pack on
it. That's being marginally convicted. Okay, I'll take your 6-pack.
Okay.
Wesley and you very
so just to be clear, we square the two of us, right? Nobody owes anybody any beer at the moment.
I feel like you owe me a lot.
You lost that last, but you took a stupid bet in the last one. You were overconfident. Yes. That was as bad as Wesley's Cavs bet that we had on him for
right.
Yeah. Whatever you won was a dumbass bet. Yeah.
I'm stuck between my head and my heart. My head tells me Knicks win it, and they finish it with game 6. My heart tells me that somehow the Knicks flop up and lose game 6, and Boston go on to win game 7. That's what my heart says.
Oh, then bet you beat on it. Both you guys.
But I'm not. I don't know if I'm prepared to bet beer on losing a game because I've done this now. I owe too many men some beer. So
eventually you're gonna give me the tray anyway. So just do it one at a time.
I really believe that Boston could do it. I really believe it. But
the game's more fun when you put the beer on it.
I'm gonna say, damn, I hate this actually. Fuck it. The Knicks win. The Knicks win game
How are
6.
you wearing a Boston top?
Yeah.
Respect for the bra. Respect for the bra. Respect for the bra.
Okay,
But it's
okay,
just
okay.
like I think that they are the right team with the right personnel, with everybody that believes. But because there's beers involved, I'm going Knicks.
Or if Boston win game 6, Cat is gonna serve up a third in game 7. And Boston are gonna take game 7.
Okay.
The
We move
Knicks
on.
don't
We
I
move
mean,
on.
we'll know this weekend, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, we don't have any dealings.
Nice.
Uh,
He said Knicks, so he's
You
trying
said
to take
Knicks.
my bets also. Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to be smarter than I've always been.
Okay, so I'm not making a bet with you, Wesley, purely because of your duality. I don't respect
Moving on. My favorite series has gone to 7 games. I actually called the 7 games. And I love the fact that it's going to 7 games. And I think and believe that as much as Jokic is unbelievable and Murray, and they've just been on a fantastic run of late, I think it's OKC's moment. I think they're at home. I think it's their moment. And OKC win game 7.
I
And
see
OKC.
Peter happening here between you guys.
Yeah.
I am putting my money away. I'm making no bets in this game 7.
Okay, Kirk, you go. You think Denver win it?
No. But I do think Jokic needs to be the MVP
Yeah.
because this bra's phenomenal. I mean, if you look at the stats, SGA dominates in scoring stats and blocks for some weird reason because he's averaging 1 block a game. Joker's averaging 0.6 blocks a game. I think SGA wins the steals column as well. Marginally, I think it's by like 0.2. But the rest of it is all scoring columns that he wins. The rest is all Joker blocks. I mean, assists, rebounds, pure shooting percentage. Yes, I mean, he's just a well-balanced player. But he's not going to win game 7, unfortunately.
To me?
Because he needs help. And we've
Yeah.
seen Porter Jr., and I've called it a number of times, when that bra bombs, they bomb. Not bombs as in lights out, bombs as in crash and burn. And you need somebody better than him to get you through this series, unfortunately.
To me?
I'm gonna enjoy the game. I'm gonna love watching it. It's on at 9:30 on Sunday, which means it's a wake time.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go somewhere and watch it together.
That's a great idea.
Let's
Brilliant
invite
idea.
ourselves to Jason's house.
Great idea.
He invited.
that up,
Yeah,
sir.
actually, technically, he did invite us. He said when there's a game on, we should all come around. So,
Let's
seriously,
call him on it.
yeah.
Jason, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
If you're watching the episode tonight, you know we're going to be there on Sunday.
Send the link to Jason first. Say, hey, can you go to minute 20 something? Yeah. It's like a Cavs bet that you didn't know about. Yeah, Timmy, you were saying?
I'm gonna enjoy the game as a fan, right? I am going nowhere close to that with any money. Thunder are without doubt, they are without doubt a better team, but consistently Joker keeps him in the mix, and he creates an opportunity for somebody to be a hero. And sometimes it's Gordon, and sometimes it's Murray. Westbrook has had some weird moments. Julian Strother, right, at a moment last night. And the reality is that he creates it for them, and he will consistently create it for them. He will keep the game close, almost single-handedly in that space. And if you keep a game close, somebody can knock down a shot. Somebody could step up. And yeah.
Never.
Hmm?
ever underestimate underestimate the value of Chris Brown.
So tell me I mean, if you must pick, I know you're gonna enjoy the game, but if you must pick, who are you going with?
We were gonna put a six-pack on the table.
I think that mathematically it's likely the Thunder are going to win. But as I watch, because I enjoy watching the underdog, right? I'll quietly be supporting the Nuggets.
Okay, see.
The
The Nuggets.
Nuggets, yeah, I'll quietly be supporting them. I enjoy that team. I really do. I
Yeah.
enjoy watching Murray step up in big moments. I enjoy watching Jokic, right? I enjoy AG. Gordon is great. Like I freaking love him. And that Nick, those three, like I want good things for them.
Finally, let's wrap up. Just your thoughts on how awesome the
Who
Pacers were.
are you picking? Who are you picking with?
OKC.
Okay.
OKC. Yeah. Pacers are through and Minnesota are through. Very, very happy for Tyrese and extremely happy for Ant. It's great for the NBA. It's great for players like Tyrese, where you go now, second year to the Eastern Conference Finals. You must take me seriously now. Tyrese is no joke to the rest of the NBA anymore. For Ant and second time to the conference finals too.
In
Yeah.
a row.
In a row. I am really looking forward to them. And if I must pick between those two teams, I'd love to see Ant go to the NBA finals. I'd really love it, regardless of the teams that we just spoke about now. But yeah, Ant for me is my player that I don't know why. I just want him to do well.
Ant's not even the
It's
best player in his team.
that
in this
charisma, man.
playoffs.
It's that personality and that it's the skill
yeah.
coupled with that personality
Yeah.
and just that
Exactly. So quickly, James, just give me your thoughts quickly on Pacers, Minnesota. What do you like? What are you looking forward to? How do you see them do?
Can I say, if
Yeah.
you haven't watched, thing I like about the Pacers, other than the fact that they are vicious and they've got attitude and they believe in each other, and that Rick Carlisle's got them playing an awesome offense as you'll always have. Right? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. One of my favorite things about the Pacers is in their home court, how they get introduced. Do you know that each player has a different song?
Yes.
Yeah. And Siakam's song is like a Cameroonian number which comes out, and then he does a little dance with a couple of other ones that are doing it with him. It's a very cool moment when they do it. Make sure that you watch that.
Why?
In the next one. That team has got it's got good vibes.
Right.
And they are
Bobs.
scared of
Bob.
nobody. Bobs.
Yeah.
Bobs, bro.
Yeah. Kirk, your thoughts, bro?
So I was very excited about Minnesota until I heard Finch's last interview. And his last interview, he said he put a challenge to his guys and he asked them, are you a team that made the Western Conference Finals, or are you a Western Conference Finals team? Right?
Sounds like
So but my point is that was their objective for the year. They didn't say we're going to win a title. Their objective for the year was we're going to make the Western Conference Finals. Right? And I think that as much as you try and go on to the or try and ramp it up or get to the next level, the entire year your mission was to make the Western Conference Finals. And now you've done it. Subconsciously, it just feels like mission accomplished type of thing. And I don't think that they're going to have the crack to get through an OKC. Once an OKC team punches them in the face once or twice, they're going to be like, you know what, we've done good this
we're
year.
happy. Yeah.
So that was a bit disappointing when I heard that. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Could they beat OKC? Maybe. But we actually want to see OKC go through, man. We really want to see OKC win, I suppose. And can win next year.
Nah, if OKC play Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals, I'm going to love every game because I want both teams to win.
Every bucket is going to be a Kawhi bucket.
Yeah. Tell me?
I think that Minnesota is a bad matchup for OKC.
Yeah.
They
It's
they
like
they struggle with
like
size.
big, broad versus lanky and thin. Yeah.
They struggle with size, and Minnesota have legitimately got a couple of people that they can throw at Shea. And Finch and that coaching team is smart, and they're gonna leave Dort and Cason Wallace and Wiggins open, and consistently last year and this year, like those guys have fallen they've fallen short when those lights are really really bright, and as they get brighter, as Kirk points out, especially when they're not at home, they look frail, and they've needed Caruso to make monster shots, which I'm not even sure he expected to be on the court when he was making them. Yeah. So they're also, I mean, there's still question marks there. And will, I suppose, continue to be question marks until they get over the hump, like Kirk points out. But like you, Wes, I think it's going to be an awesome series.
Away. Gentlemen, this was
Wait,
awesome.
before you
This
go,
was awesome.
can I ask you a question? Do you miss LeBron James in the playoffs right now? Do you like feel like you're like
Me?
yes, you because you're a LeBron fan. Like
Yeah.
you're thinking you're this playoffs is junk without him.
No.
Do
Not
you
at
remember
all.
when last LeBron was in this stage of the playoffs?
But
Uh,
my point is exactly like
no. But
the crop of players that we are watching now is the crop of players that we want to see at this point of the year.
yeah. I don't think the basketball is less than without LeBron. I think the right teams are there, and I think it's meant to be that way. It's meant to
Okay,
be
so
that way.
I'm not taking a shot at LeBron. I'm just saying, even Steph, if you think of like, do you miss Steph at this stage of the playoffs? Do you miss any of those the guys that sort of have been carrying the NBA over the last 5, 7 years? Like,
I think if
you
you
don't?
watch,
I don't.
I think if you watch a little basketball, if you watch maybe one game a week type stuff,
Yeah.
right? I think then you miss Steph, KD, and LeBron.
You miss
But if
familiarity.
you watch the way we watch, we know too much about everybody to not enjoy the game. When we watch OKC and Denver play, we know all the players. We know how great they are. So we're not missing Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James. We're not at all. But I think if you watch a little and you only know 20 basketball players, then I think you're not enjoying the NBA. Yeah, because they're out.
Maybe I would like to see Kyrie and AD and Flag, just that that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I think
All on
everybody
the
will
same
enjoy
team.
that. Who wouldn't
You
enjoy
are
On
that?
Sunday,
Who wouldn't enjoy
on
that?
Sunday,
you enjoying many Mavs right now.
on Sunday, Tim, the first part of our conversation is we're gonna address post Luca and now post 80 Kyrie and new guy's name is
Flag.
Cooper.
Cooper
Hanging
Flag.
out with
Yeah.
Mr. Cooper.
Yeah. Up
I
to
would
date,
open.
gents?
Oh, you should open all of those conversations. You should open that conversation and close that conversation, right? With a standard. Fuck Nico.
I was about to say, don't get too attached to Cooper Flag, my friend.
Yeah. Learn from the past, Tim. Learn.
What if they don't even pick him? We're like, nah, we don't need this guy. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
They will
We probably
burn that building to the ground.
We probably shouldn't joke because it's not entirely impossible.
No.
Imagine like Nico does a deal with like a mega team to take their number one pick and they take their star. Imagine. Then you
Giannis.
lose Cooper also.
Giannis.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they check out there, right? That's what they check out there. I don't know how you'd make the money work in that. Because we have to be honest, it would have to be Flag and then a variety of other people with it. Look, if they got Giannis, would I really be mad? No.
Mm.
But
Mm.
but there are probably like 3 players that I can't mention off the top of my head that I'd be like, meh, okay.
Mm.
I would prefer to have Flag. And then in the future, you just continue to have Flag and Lively. Like that's a dope little that's a dope
You
mix as your basis.
you trade Kyrie and AD away for picks and build a younger team around
No.
those.
No, 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 no. The team's good. The team is super deep. You've still got Clay, you've got Kyrie, you've got AD, you've got Washington, you've got Lively, you've got Gafford, you've got size at every position, right? You've got Christie as a young cat. You've still got some experience in Exum. Like you can take an impact maker like Flag and not need him to be the best player on a team, and you can blood him with people who have won championships. You can win now with that team, and you can set the basis of something going forward. And you know what? The thing that I like about Flag most, right, is in a weirdly similar way, that dude cares about winning like Luca seems to, right? Like Luca wanted to win. It didn't matter about his shape, but when he was competitive, have you seen any of Flag's games? He looks like he wants to rip the heart and soul out of his opposition. Right? He he is so intense, and that is a cultural thing. The same thing with KD is a cultural thing. Right? I think that form of leadership in basketball, where I lead from the front as a warrior, is dope. Don't let that go. Don't let that go. Otherwise, you're gonna get another Zion somewhere. You don't want that.
This man's heart's gonna break again, Kirk. His heart's gonna break again.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard Exhibit A of how Timmy can hype up anything about the Mavericks. Anything about the Mavericks. He's even in love with AD. I mean, that says it all.
That team is deep, guys. The team is deep.
That is a die-hard Mav supporter, pal. Die-hard. Even if they signed Michael Porter Jr. tomorrow,
I'll
Tim would
tell
be
you how
like,
quiet he is.
you know,
No
who has
back,
an X-factor?
no shoulder,
Michael
all three.
Porter.
My back, my shoulder.
Peace out, fellas. I'll see you Sunday.
Oh, wait.
Bye. Cheers,
See you,
Obi.
Jason.
Thanks, Jason.